Hello there. I just thought it was time that I contact you all personally, and a few things that I just wanted to convey to you today. Firstly, I'd just like to say a huge thank you for your support, for continuing to support me financially now that I'm home, and also just for your prayers, your messages of love and support. It has been absolutely amazing, and I'd just like to say thank you very much. The second thing, I just wanted to really give you an overview of what took place in the Philippines while Ashley was sick and leading up to his death. So basically around about 6 weeks before Ashley passed away, he did start with symptoms. We started some medication that we had with us for a chest infection, and unfortunately he didn't get any better, so we did seek medical help in the big city. We were about 3 hours from the big city, so we went up there and we did try to get medical help. Unfortunately that didn't go so good. He was diagnosed eventually with pneumonia. He started on antibiotics for pneumonia. He did not get any better, so they changed the antibiotics, and he just did continue to get worse. Eventually he was diagnosed with tuberculosis as well. However, that diagnosis was done not properly, as TB needs to be diagnosed with a chest x-ray and a sputum, and unfortunately they refused to do a sputum. I eventually did get a sputum test done. Also too, just because of the corruption in many sectors in the Philippines, we did have a lot of trouble getting him evacuated. We were eventually able to get him evacuated to a hospital in Manila. Also too, in Manila, the care that he received there wasn't great. They refused to give him painkillers. So the day before he actually died, they told us that through a CT scan they had found a large mass in his right upper lobe, up here. That mass was around about 3.7 centimetres by 2.9 by around about 3.4 centimetres. They told us that they didn't know if this mass was an infection of some kind, like tuberculosis, or if it was malignancy. Later on that very same day of receiving this information, which was the day before Ashley passed away, they found a lot of fluid around his heart, which he was raced into an emergency surgery, and they drained 900 cc's of basically pure blood from around his heart. So the next morning was when Ashley actually passed away. He spent that night in ICU, and he passed away the next morning. In the Philippines, I was able to get an autopsy done, which we still have not received the report from right up until this day. I have emailed asking for the report and still not have received it. When I came home, just because of our knowledge and our experience in the Philippines, myself and my children really felt strongly that we needed to get another autopsy done here in Australia, which we are extremely thankful that we did. That autopsy here in Australia actually showed that the autopsy that we paid for in the Philippines was only a naked eye view, meaning that Ashley's organs were only cut, sliced, and had a naked eye view. Nothing was taken from those organs for testing, to do cultures or anything. So Ashley's death certificate in the Philippines read that he died from sepsis, secondary to community-acquired pneumonia, secondary to probable malignancy, secondary to lung metastasis. However, the autopsy that we had done here in Australia showed that there was definitely no sepsis, definitely no pneumonia, and definitely no tuberculosis. It also showed that the mass up here in his right upper lobe was a primary cancer. From there, the cancer had spread down through his lymphatic system, Both his right and left lungs were riddled in cancer, and most of his blood vessels in his lungs were actually clogged with cancer. He had also cancer around his heart. The cancer had only just begun to spread into his pancreas, and the autopsy also showed that his liver was riddled in cancer as well. So because of the autopsy results that were found here in Australia, the doctor who did that autopsy wanted a second death certificate written, amending the one that was done in the Philippines, because obviously it is very different. So we have received that amended death certificate, and the doctor from the PA hospital in Brisbane who did it has sent that to the births, deaths and marriages, and we are hoping that that death certificate will be amended. The third thing that I would just like to convey to you is that I would really appreciate your ongoing prayer, as not only myself but I and my family go through this grieving and healing process. The experience in the Philippines with Ashley being sick and his death was a harrowing one. Ashley was extremely ill, and he did not receive a proper diagnosis and care. He hadn't slept for a week leading up to his death because of the pain, and because of the Philippines' beliefs, they would not give painkillers. So my family and I are a little bit haunted at times by his death, and we would just really ask for your ongoing prayer as we go through this process. I'd also just like to ask that if you have any further questions, that you do contact me personally. I would love to hear from you if you'd like me to explain anything further. I will get around to contacting you all personally and saying hello. And once again, I am so grateful for your care and your love and your support. So thank you very much.